This is my audience.
People are going to see that on YouTube.
Can you imagine how life would be without livestock or crops to feed you? What about if you are low on water resources? How would you feel if all the wildlife just disappeared? This is what we are heading towards if we don't start working on preventing climate change. Everyone needs to work together and take some actions to help. So what exactly is climate change? According to the dictionary, climate change is a long-term change in the Earth's climate, especially a change due to an increase in the average atmospheric temperature. Now you may be wondering, how did this happen? There are a lot of reasons. NASA states that the top three are gases, the role of human activity, and solar irradiance. NASA says that the gases are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbons. Water vapor increases as the Earth's atmosphere warms. Carbon dioxide has increased by more than a third since the Industrial Revolution. Methane is produced by the decomposition of landfills. Nitrous oxide is produced by the biomass burning. Chlorofluorocarbons are synthetic carbons that are contributing to the destruction of the ozone layer. According to NASA, the industrial activities that our modern civilization depends upon have raised atmospheric carbon dioxide levels from 280 parts per million to 400 parts per million in the last 150 years. There is a 95% chance that human-produced greenhouse gases caused much of the increase in Earth's temperatures over the past 50 years. Studies show that solar variability has played a role in past climate changes. There is a physical evidence to support this. Carbon dioxide is released through human activities such as deforestation and burning fossil fuels. It has been on a steady rise. In 2006, it was over 380 parts per million. As of December 2016, it is at 405.25 parts per million. Since the year 2000, we have caused the average temperature to rise. The 10 hottest years recorded since 1880 have been from 2000 to 2016. The year 2015 ranks as the warmest on record. Data from NASA's GRACE satellites show that land ice sheets are losing mass. The impacts climate change has on the ecosystem and wildlife in Nebraska are massive. There are the species shifting their geographic ranges, barrier to movement, and timing of events. According to Donald White and Kimberly Morrow, there is evidence on how climate change affects animals and the ecosystems. Species are changing distributions, alteration in the timing of annual life events, and the disruption of ecological relationships. The species are losing their habitats. Scientists are seeing species move to higher elevations. Species with limited ability to move, like plants and invertebrates, won't be able to adapt to climate change. The landscape here in Nebraska is highly fragmented by human development. This forms a barrier to the movement of many species and will inhibit their ability to respond to climate change. The climate change is also affecting the timing of annual events in the life cycles of species. Studies have documented recent shifts in the timing of events such as migration, insect emergence, and flowering. There is also some implication on human health in Nebraska. They have been divided into direct effects of climate and weather, such as mortality during heat waves and storms, indirect effects as mediated by culture, architecture, and economics, and interactive as where climate change aggravates other environmental hazards. Last, there are implications on agriculture, food, and water. One is crop production and yield. Plants can operate a range of environmental conditions. Yield, quality, and quality are expected to be impacted if weather patterns are permanently shifted outside the range of species tolerance in a region. The next is livestock production. There are anticipated threats to not only grasslands and field production, but also risks associated with animal performance and resilience to changes in climate and to weather extremes, especially temperature. The last is water resources. Threats to water resources are real. Nebraska, which ranks the first in number of irrigated acres, will continue to see pressure on water resources grow with the intensity of droughts and more temperature extremes. So how can we help? There is a committee of 7 senators that are trying to create a framework for a state climate action plan. You can do things at home and with transportation to help. At home, shut off your lights. Try not to leave lights on and try not to use them. If you don't use them and shut them off, you will conserve energy. Next, you can recycle. When you recycle, it eliminates the burning of trash, which causes gases and can eliminate pollution. Last, limit water usage. You should try to conserve water. With transportation, you should use renewable fuels. A lot of fuels put a lot of pollution in the air. Next, give your vehicle a break. If possible, ride a bike or walk. Last, keep up on the maintenance of your vehicle. If you keep it up, it can help conserve gas and can eliminate some fumes in the air. Climate change is a scary thing to think about. We are killing our home. Our wildlife is finding new homes. It is impacting our health and having huge impacts on our crops, livestock, and water resources. We need to do as much as we can to prevent any further causes of climate change. Who would want to live in a world with no wildlife in it anyways? Any questions?
I have one. What did the committee of the 7 senators do?
They focused on certain issues with the intent of providing a basis for further legislative action. Anyone?
Okay. What was the committee trying to examine?
They're trying to examine the risks and opportunities. There are risks from the projected increase of extreme weather.
What are the purposes of the committee plan?
It would be to develop policies that recognize resources that can be utilized to provide advantages that benefit Nebraska. Any more? No?